Our next question comes from Tracy in New Orleans. She says, how can I report unsafe working conditions anonymously? This goes back to that whole whistleblower issue.
Well, what you should do is contact OSHA. They have a website, they have an office in Baton Rouge, and you can fax them a letter and ask to be anonymous. I'll tell you, it doesn't mean you're going to be anonymous the whole time, but they can breach that. But you can ask for that, and they'll try to maintain that as good as possible, as well as possible. But yeah, you can send a letter to OSHA on unsafe working conditions, and you've got to do it. There's time limits. I can't remember on that statute. I think it's 90 days or something like that.
90
it's
days
tight.
from what?
From the date it's going on or it's happening or whatever the event's happening. If there's an event, it's on a case-by-case basis. But
yeah, I would like to just add to that and kind of get back to what we were saying at the end of the last segment. Remember, if you are aware of an illegal activity going on, and Glenn, we just didn't have, there's just never enough time to talk about these things. If you are a whistleblower and you report illegal activity that's taking place, you may end up being able to benefit because if you expose fraud, corruption, illegal activities, and the case ends up producing money, you can get a percentage of that. You want to just flesh that out for us?
Yeah, well, basically whistleblowing is reporting illegal acts or improper acts under law. And so when you report these to law enforcement or your supervisor, each statute's different, but basically you're protected. And employees make the mistake a lot of times, especially women, single parents, they don't want to report sexual harassment or whatever because they say, oh, they're going to fire me. Well, actually, you're better protected. Once you file that complaint, in writing sworn complaint, they can't fire you. You're protected, and the employers know that. They're not going to be stupid and fire you for that. Because statistically, jury verdict research says 98% of the retaliation cases, the employee wins. So you want to file those complaints and document that. So it's any illegal activity, you can, and under some statutes you can be rewarded, you can be issued punitive damages, you can be issued under False Claims Act, a percentage of the recovery, if there's millions of dollars involved, and you report that, and you're the first one.
But we want to be very clear with Tracy. If she does know of something that's going on and she does report it, maybe initially she may remain anonymous, but being realistic about it, her anonymity won't last for long.
Yeah, and let me say this also to Tracy. Most lawyers, somebody like Glenn, you can go to the Power of Attorney website. There'll be links to get you to free information, and we'll put information from Mr. McGovern's website. And you can also Google or find Mr. McGovern. Find him through our website. Find him on the internet, Glenn McGovern. And I'm betting that he'll either talk to you directly or talk to my office, and we'll give you some assistance on this, where an attorney who does employment law will give you some further insight specific to your concerns. Or if it's not you, it's one of your friends, you can put them in contact with one another. That's another suggestion. One more thing on retaliation. You may be an employee who's hurt on the job. It's a workers' compensation thing. It's not an employment discrimination thing. An employer sometimes will retaliate against you because you have dared to ask for wages while you can't work, and you're entitled to workers' compensation benefits. There's laws on Louisiana's books that say if an employer fires you because you're making a workers' compensation claim, you're asking for workers' compensation, you can get not only your workers' compensation wage benefits, medical benefits, but also penalties against that employer, including attorney fees, because the employer retaliated against you, fired you for attempting that. So there's similar laws.
When you file these complaints, really, in terms of the length of time that it could take before your case is settled or before you get any sort of restitution, I mean, people should be aware that this is something that could take a long time. I mean, they should be in it for the long haul, correct?
Right. It just depends on what court, where it's filed. It goes a little quick in federal court, but you can have appeals and that sort of thing. But like this lady here, Tracy, on OSHA, they'll jump on it. They react pretty quick, and they'll make a decision on that.
Okay.